Let me at the outset appreciate the progress made under the NICDIT, NICDP. And before I get into the details of the few points which I want to summarize and highlight, I thank all the Chief Ministers, particularly Chief Minister Madhya Pradesh, who is present in our company, and the Chief Ministers who also joined us on the virtual mode, Deputy Chief Ministers, similarly industry ministers who have come here today, UP, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, and those who joined us via video conferencing, Minister Sonowal, who also joined here, Shipping Minister. So thanks to everyone who participated. Although this meeting should have been held once in a year, we've had some reasons not to have had earlier, but today we've done, I think, spending 3 full hours in looking at the developments. So the industrial corridors are an important pillar of our strategy to expand manufacturing, improve logistic competitiveness, and to create globally competitive industrial ecosystems. At our previous meetings, I had emphasized that industrial corridor development must be taken forward in the spirit of Team India. I had also referred to the convergence of freight, industrial development, railways and expressways. Strangely, I can say FIRE, fire corridors, freight, industrial development, railways and expressway corridors. That convergence remains central to the success of this program. The program has now reached a significant scale, 20 industrial corridor projects across 13 states, and 7 industrial corridors have been approved, including 12 projects approved in August 2024. 4 industrial smart cities like Dholera, Shendra, Bitkin, Greater Noida and Vikram Udyogpuri have already been substantially delivered. The results on the ground are encouraging, although there are miles to go. This is a positive indication of investor demand, but it also means that we must prepare the next pipeline of industrial land and infrastructure well before the existing inventory is exhausted. I think most of the ministers and the chief ministers were veering towards that, to say that this is the difficulty we might have if you are looking at one large parcel of land, and therefore there is got to be a lot more dialogue and exchange of ideas on that. Our focus must now shift increasingly from approval of projects to completion of infrastructure, allotment of land, grounding of investment and commencement of production. Every delay after project approval increases the cost and postpones employment and investment. I would request the chief ministers and state governments to personally review the remaining bottlenecks relating to land, external road and rail connectivity, power and water supply, statutory clearances and delegation of planning and development powers to the project SPVs. We've had a few states probably who will have to align their scheme of things with the NICDIC to be in tune with the rest of the template of this NICDIT, because if you have a parallel system running, we would have a problem aligning with you, and as a result it can drag the whole project much slowly to progress. So I think alignment is important. Running parallel things would eventually cause difficulties. PM Gati Shakti must remain the common planning platform for industrial corridor projects. Rail, ports, road or airports, power, telecom or social infrastructure should be planned together rather than sequentially. We've had quite an exercise to correct the old industrial parks which have remained like a standalone ones, which didn't give any benefit to the system or to the economy. So we should get over that problem with a technically advanced filter system that we have in the PM Gati Shakti. For new projects, critical infrastructure gaps have already been identified through the PM Gati Shakti NPG framework. The next requirement is timely execution by the concerned central and state agencies. We should also continue using investor-friendly land allotment mechanisms. I take with a lot of respect the input given by Professor Lahiri from the Niti Aayog. The SPVs have already introduced measures such as discounts for anchor and early bird investors, flexible lease periods, deferred payment options, and rebates for upfront payment. These practices should be further refined while ensuring that industrial land is used for actual investment and not held for speculation. This is a very important point which I would like to draw the attention of all participants. Industrial corridors cannot become successful manufacturing cities with factories alone. They require worker housing, affordable rental accommodation, healthcare, skilling facilities, and public transport and other social amenities as well. Following the direction in the previous APEX meeting, which of course was in 23, if I'm right, provision for workers and affordable housing and other social infrastructures being incorporated in the industrial node master plans. I would request states and SPVs to treat these facilities as integral components of industrial development and not as activities to be taken up after industries have already arrived. In this connection, I would like to talk about, just for a few minutes, measures supporting states and manufacturing through the Finance Ministry. The Union government continues to support infrastructure-led growth on a large scale. In Budget 26-27, which is holding currency now, public capital expenditure has been increased to 12.2 lakh crores. The budget has also proposed an infrastructure risk guarantee fund to provide calibrated partial credit guarantees and help crowd in greater private participation in infrastructure projects. These measures can support the larger ecosystem within which industrial corridors and logistics projects are being developed. We have also provided 2 lakh crore support to the states under the scheme of special assistance to states for capital investment, the SASCI, in Budget 26-27. SASCI provides long-term interest-free capital support to states for asset creation. States may also examine within the applicable guidelines how eligible infrastructure supporting industrial nodes and their external connectivity can be dovetailed with this assistance, with this SASCI assistance. Financing of manufacturing MSMEs has also been strengthened through our budgets. In March 2026, the Mutual Credit Guarantee Scheme for MSMEs was further liberalized. Credit facilities of up to 100 crores for purchase of plant and machinery equipments are eligible for guarantee coverage, and special provisions have been introduced for exporter MSMEs, including enhanced guarantee coverage. This should help manufacturing units coming up in industrial corridor nodes invest in modern machinery and also scale up their operations. Budget 26-27 again has also announced 10,000 crores for SME Growth Fund to support the emergence of future SME champions, and an additional 2,000 crore for the Self-Reliant India Fund to improve access to risk capital for micro enterprises. We have also taken tax and customs measures to make manufacturing more competitive. Budget 26-27 provided, among other measures, a 5-year income tax exemption for eligible non-residents supplying capital goods, equipment, or tooling to toll manufacturers in bonded zones. A safe harbor framework for component warehousing by residents is also provided. Customs facilitation measures, including deferred duty payment for eligible trusted manufacturer importers, are also provided. Customs duty relief has also been targeted towards strategic manufacturing sectors, including capital goods, used for lithium-ion cells and cell manufacturing and processing of critical minerals, as well as specified components used in sectors such as aviation and electronics. These measures should encourage deeper domestic value addition and strengthen manufacturing of supply chains. So with these words, I would thank all the participants for having contributed substantially and constructively for today's review. These are essential activities for propping up the economy, revving up the economy, and the speedily we try to complete it, the better for all of our states GSDP and also for the central GDP. So I wish we go back committed to speeding up all the projects which have waited for quite some time. Thank you very much.